download Unity page.
One second.
Okay, download this hub. Okay, download Unity hub. You can download when you download it. Uh, my system has already Unity, so I won't run through that. The Unity hub setup. Okay, install it. Okay. Okay, so in the start you won't find any projects here because you won't be creating any. So try to go to this install tab. Okay, then click on add. Okay, this add will tell you what kind of which version you want to download. So select the recommended release, select this recommended release and click on next. Okay, then it will start the downloading process. It will also tell you to let me go through, try to install another one. Okay, official release is there, right? Okay, 2020, let me check this.
So every time recommended we have to go.
Yes, you need to go into the recommended one. Select the recommended one. Since I already installed this version, I'm trying to show with another version. Okay, so once you click that, it will ask for dev tool and Android build. So if you are
Okay.
making any Android build, if we want to make any Android build, then select this and uncheck this. You don't need this. We will try to make with mono behavior. Okay, and also the uncheck the documentation. If you want to learn more about Unity, you can check this.
Mm-hmm. What is the difference? What is like?
Which one? This one, documentation.
Uh,
This is something like in documentation you will get all those details like the script references, the basic tutorials kind of stuff to learn Unity. If you want, you
okay.
can check this. Okay.
So we need to check that mono Microsoft Visual Studio. No? I'm installing in my laptop.
So Microsoft Visual Studio don't need to install. Don't use this. We can use mono behavior. I need to figure out how to use mono behavior. I never use that. But uh, if you want to install Visual Studio, it will take a lot of time,
Okay.
and your PC will be slower if it's not a high-end
No, no,
configuration.
I will install after this meeting.
Okay, you are already there. Then it's okay. Then check it and finish.
What is this mono developer I have to install?
That's what I'm saying. If you don't want to install, if you're not installing Visual Studio, you can use Mono Behavior. This is a Mono Develop.
Okay. What is?
You can use this for scripting purpose.
Mm-hmm.
That one we would use for morely into if you want to do a lot of debugging at the run stuff and all, right? Then Visual Studio will be proper. It will show you all the call stack, functioning calls, debugs, call hierarchy, and all you will find in that.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can use for mono behavior for Unity. Download mono behavior for Unity.
These all are free software, sir.
Yeah, these are all free. So Visual Studio is not one, but if you install with Unity, it will give you a community edition which comes with free. But you need to log in for that. Without login, mm, uh, it won't run. Means first 2 to 3 initial runs it will take, but at the fourth run you need to have a login. You need to create a Microsoft account and you need to log in with that. So, so I guess you are downloading the software, right?
No, I'm not. I thought of it will become slow. That's the reason I thought of after
Yeah,
this
okay.
process.
So once done, then we need to do the Unity licensing. So that is something, since my system is already licensed, I don't know. I need to revoke my license and do it. So if you are doing this, then I could show you how to license it.
Once again, I will download it. Also. Able to see?
Yes, I can see. Already installed. It's the yeah, licensing. This is the one we need to do. Okay, so click on manage license.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't have a login, right? You need to create a login. You need to create an account. Create one on the top. Mm.
Need to click all this one.
Agree to. Yes, I understand. Yes.
Huh? I'll get mail confirmation, huh?
Hello.
Yes, done now.
Okay, done, right? Okay. So now, okay, go back to the licensing one again.
Yeah.
Okay. Then, okay, manual activation. Okay, save license. Save license request. Save it to the any place you are comfortable with, any location, desktop or documents your wish.
Yeah.
Okay, then click on the URL manual activation page, right? Yes, click on that.
Yeah.
Okay, you log in with your account.
Log in.
I'm not sure. Means it's asking for the login again, right? Okay, now browse the file which you have saved.
Okay.
Personal edition, Unity personal edition.
Okay.
Okay, I don't use it Unity in professional capacity. Select that one. Last option. Next. Now download this license and place it somewhere accessible. Okay, downloaded, right? Okay, then minimize the browser and you can go back to the Unity Hub. Okay, now click the next button. Next button. Now load the downloaded file. Yeah, that one. That one only. ULF. Dot ULF file. Confirm. Arey, so नहीं जरूरत नहीं, वो पुराना अभी अपडेट हो गया वो.
What happened?
Done, right? Now we can go to the general. Now it's done. Okay, go to general.
Yeah.
And sorry, advanced, please. Can you click on advanced? Okay. License is not done, I guess. Okay. Can you? Sorry. Go back button, please. Back button. Here, go to the installs. Now you go click add button. Add. Select 2019.4, the recommended version.
This one.
Recommended release. Yes. Uh,
Okay.
Next. Yes, done.
Okay.
It will take time to install. I guess it didn't it prompt any questions like the one I was showing, documents and all.
Oh, it didn't. I think I not got
Didn't
anything.
ask you. It was supposed to ask that one. Okay, you need to confirm your email. Okay, it didn't ask anything. Hmm.
No.
So okay, I guess it's setting up default one. Default Unity editor. We can add Android module later. No issues. So okay, in the meantime, I'll just walk you through the Unity interface. It will take time that one to install. Mm, So I will share the screen.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I can see now.
Okay. So this is the whole Unity window, and you can see there are two elements. One is like a scene. Let me put in a scene. I say one is scene and other one is game. Okay,
One is
scene is scene,
scene. Okay.
SCENE, scene, and other one is game.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the visualizing windows. These two tabs. So scene is somewhere where you place your things. You can place all your objects, any element you want to render on your game. All the elements in your game you want to put it, you can put it on a scene. Okay, it's like imagine a scene or a scene in a movie, or you can map it to anything like that. Okay, in a certain scene there will be only certain elements. For instance, if you take a game, UI is a complete different scene, but a game, actual game and gameplay is another scene.
Okay.
Got it, right? So in the similar terms, we can have an application or different layers of application in their respective scenes. We can gather. But game is something which is actually finally rendered. You can have a lot of elements within the scene, but the thing actually rendering, finally rendering on your display is uh, is this one game. For example, I have cube 1 here. Okay, now we'll have another one. I will take another game object, like I will try to draw a sphere. Okay, this sphere position is also currently So see, now I have a, okay, I will add some light so you can have a clear picture. Okay. Okay. So now I have this sphere and a cube.
Mhm,
You can see. Okay. These both are in the scene.
mhm,
But in this now you can see both are in the game also.
mhm,
It doesn't mean the all the things in the scene should be rendered. If you are like playing in a certain games, as soon as you go forward or progress, you do some progression in the game with your player or controller, there will be things coming popping up, right? So similarly now these two elements are in the scene, but no, you can't see the spear in the game
okay.
because it is there in the scene but is rendered out of the camera. So this is the camera. So the final output which you see in the game is rendered through a camera. Okay, god. So if I show you like this, okay, so this is the camera and this is its view. This all this line, everything in between these lines it can render. This sphere which you can see is out of this line.
Mhm,
So that's why it's not rendering in the game. It's not rendering in the game. As soon as you try to bring this one sphere into the scene like this, okay, we'll keep it partially. Okay, see, it's only falling. Only the partial part of the sphere is means rendering within the camera.
mhm,
The other part is occluded. Occluded means it's culled off. It's removed. So these are the main two aspects. So these are the this is a scene where you can actually pitch all your things related to your project, but in a particular frame, what is to be rendered should will be in the game.
mhm,
Okay. So these are the scene and game tabs. Now here will come hierarchy, where I'm actually trying to place all the things. So this is the hierarchy uh, in like all the elements related to a scene. This is a particular scene where you have all the related element to your game or an application. Whatever elements you have in a particular scene should be here. Then only it will be visible in a scene.
okay.
Then based on your situation, you can pull it into a game, render into in front of a camera. For
Okay.
to come in front of the scene, it should be placed in a hierarchy.
Mhm,
Okay, for everything you place, for every element or object you place, it should have its own properties, right? So I have defined this as a cube and this as a sphere. So how it's changing based on its properties. These properties of every object that you select, you can see on the right hand side in the inspector. Okay,
okay.
so if I select this direction light, this is a light, so it has its position and a light component.
Mhm,
So similarly it's a camera, so it has its position, transform position, position, rotation, scale, and its camera component.
mhm,
Now this is a cube. Cube has a cube renderer. This is the mesh renderer which renders trice, and this trice is trice and words. And this trice and words is accumulated into an using this mesh filter.
mhm,
So again, whatever the object you want to get into an space, its properties you can visualize in inspector.
mhm,
Okay. Now to put it into a scene, you need to bring in an hierarchy. Now to put it in a hierarchy, you need to be have those elements in a project.
mhm,
So this is your entire project. This project consists of everything. Whatever you want to have in an application, this
mhm,
project should hold that. this project folder structure should be having all those.
Mm.
Then only it will be in your application.
Okay.
Okay, so now okay, so coming back, like if you have a element in a project, you can put it in a hierarchy, and if you're in a hierarchy, it means it's already in there in a scene. And if you want to put it in a camera, you can handle with its properties.
Okay.
Okay, you change its property, you change its position, then it's come in front of the scene. Okay, so this is the basic interface. Okay, and besides that, um, mm, okay, delete and delete. Okay. To add an element in a scene, to if you want to put in any object in your project, okay, you can right click here, right click on your project asset folder or anywhere in the project. Okay, until unless you don't click in this packages. Okay, these are all the libraries. Packages is library. Okay, I'll describe the project one. Okay, so
Mm.
project we have two types.
Mm.
In project we have mainly two folders. One is the asset folder and is the packages folder.
Okay.
Okay, asset folder where you put all your game related properties,
Mhm.
objects. And in the packages folder, it is something which all, it's your library files.
Mhm.
So if you have anything, so if you want to communicate with your visual studio editor, the library for communication is placed here. If you want to do an animation in Unity, the library for animation is placed here. So
Mhm.
similarly, depend upon your requirement, you can add a lot of function, a lot of libraries in this. You need to import the libraries. As soon as you import the libraries, it will be visible here.
Mhm.
Okay. In this case, for our case, there is no augment reality like Vuforia library here to communicate. We need a Vuforia library to communicate here. So
O-
we will be bringing that, and as soon as you bring in, you can see that in a package.
Okay.
Okay, and this one is the asset folder. This is asset folder is where you actually place all your project related stuff, not
Okay.
the libraries, not the code or compiling part. This is where you place your models, your art related stuff like images, materials,
Mhm.
shader work, lighting effects and all, and code related scripts, everything you place
How it
within
will
the,
going to save? Save as, or save?
sorry.
How it will be saved? It will be saved like.
Okay, so that's what. So to bring anything into your asset folder, what you can do, you can right click. Okay, you can use import new asset. If you want to import an image, or let me go to an image. Okay, go to image, screenshots, no screenshots, saved pictures, anything. नहीं, camera roll नहीं, कुछ नहीं है मेरे डाउनलोड में. Okay, music file. I recently formatted my system. I don't know. There is nothing in my. Okay, this is document. Okay, let's me take this. Okay, we'll create an empty document. Create new text file. Like test file. Okay, if you want to import this file, so just click import. Right click here, import new asset, and you can directly go to the respected where is your art asset, and you click on that, and it will be imported into your project. You can see the test file is here.
Mhm.
Okay, similarly images, models, anything you want, you can do it here.
Okay.
Okay, or else the other way you can do it around is just drag and drop your element. Downloads test file, right? You can just drag and drop, it will also work. Test file one. Since
Mm.
already test file is there, so it created another, renamed it. Okay, you can drag and drop, still the asset will be imported. That's how you can do. And those are the two ways. And next, if you want to place anything within this from project to your scene, you can simply drag and drop the respective asset. For example, I have this, let me have any third party. Yeah, I have this material. Okay, I so not material, any images, filter, textures. Okay, imagine I have a box orange. This is no sprites, right? Okay, this is a texture, and texture, if you want to use it as a sprite, then you need to change it as a sprite. This is again its properties. Whatever you click in an object in an hierarchy or what in as I said, in hierarchy it will show its property. When it's in project also, it has its property, so it will show its property. So what type it is before you put it into your project, the properties of an this one before putting into a scene. Sorry, my mistake. Scene. So currently this is a texture type. Okay, I just wanted to made it into a sprite type to make it rendering on the scene without any help of any mesh or material. So this one I have made into a sprite. Which one is this? Sprite. Which one? कौन सा किया था मैंने? अरे box का था क्या? ठीक है, let me take another one. Make it sprite 2D and I applied it. Box orange. Sprite version तो आ गया. Now this property changed from a texture to a sprite. Now I can drag and drop this. You can see this box orange. Now this sprite is rendering. Okay, see when it's here, its properties is something different, and when you put back into the scene, its properties is something different. These properties are the properties of a raw type. If it's a text file type, like the text file I have loaded, right? If it's a text file type, it will show like what is its properties. It's an external object and it's considered as a text file asset, text asset. If it's an image type, then by default it will consider it as, if it's an image type, then by default it will consider it as a texture.
Mhm.
For texture to render, for a texture to render, you need to have a material. Like for example, I will take this cube. Okay, where is this cube? Let me go to the cube. Okay, though this one has I guess a plain material. By default material, what I will do is I will go this, create a new material, create material. Okay, I will give this test material. I will explain about this create, the whole create stuff, and I will just paint it to a red color. Let's have it in red color. Okay. Now the if I drag this material on top of the default material, now it's red. Now if I want to have an image, like the texture, to add a texture on top of it, if I want to add any texture, let me go to the textures and add some noise on top of it. Like I will go this unit texture. Okay, this is, which one is it? कौन सा वाला था, gradient texture. I will add to this albedo. Then you can see this gradient. The texture, the material is changed based on the texture, because the texture has black at this part and the brightness in this. So same thing is applied. So if you want to render it directly, you can use it as a sprite, as I said. This is more into like models and stuff. I guess you are familiar with all this, I guess.
Yeah.
So just letting you know how to do in Unity. Okay, so you need to place the material in this material part. You can see this materials, and if you want to place the texture in the materials of texture, you can place it here in the albedo,
Mhm.
or else you can click on here. There is a small button. You can click here and you can browse your texture. What is
Mhm.
the relevant texture you want to apply? You can close it there and you can apply.
Okay.
Okay, done. So that's how you play things. Now the third part is since we have all these libraries, right?
Mhm.
We have already inbuilt some library because it's an engine, and this engine comes with predefined libraries. So all these libraries functionalities you can use to create primitive or basic stuff. Like when you right click in your project one, you go to create. These are all the basic stuff you can create using the already defined libraries. You can create a script, you can create a material, you can create a sprite, you can create a tile, animator, avatar mask, timeline, physics properties, and terrain layer and everything.
What are those things?
Sorry.
What are these things?
uh okay. These are all means it's related to scripting. If you want to write any script in Unity, you will create a you will use this for creating a script. And when you open this, you will go to your respective development environment. You can program what are the properties based on your property, what all you need to program it to make it functionable, to add a function to it. You can program it here. Okay, this one is for creating script. And next, for predefined elements, you will have right click next. This is for shader. To change to play with the properties of a material, you will use a shader. Or to play with anything with relate to a geometry or a image or pixels of it, vertices of anything, you want to play anything with the shader and its properties, you will create a shader. In this shader, you have different type. Like if you want to use a pixel shader, you can use a image shader, you can use a standard surface shader for geometry kind of shading, compute shader for a mathematical calculation. Ray tracing is for high definition kind of applications where you want a true reflection to give more realistic kind of view. You can use a ray tracing shader. This is testing assembly folder which you use for test cases, to create test cases within the Unity and use it for that, for your programming. Okay, playables is something which you actually use for, there is something called a timeline. So you want to have a 2 to 3 events or functions happening at the same respective point of time. You use a timeline. And for that to timeline to have these dynamic properties, you use a playable.
Okay.
Okay. So assembly definition is something which is related to scripting. Every script you create or every package you create, it creates an solution for itself. Mean it has is already pre-compiled library, the compilation already there. So those compilation, you can those assemblies if you want to create it, and those assemblies are can be linked through the this assembly definition. If you want to create a separate properties for that library, you can have a assembly definition and can link to it. Text Mesh Pro is something which is related to text. Okay, so if you want to load a text within the game from a font file, or if you want to load from an image, if you want to load a font through a color, or if you want to load using a style sheet. So with these properties, you can load your font within the game. And this is a scene. As I said, like you have this scene. This is if you are using for a gameplay, you want to have a scene for UI, you can create a new scene and you can say it in UI. And this UI you can go, don't say, and you can have its property, means you can use, you have your UI, design your UI here. Okay, then next scene, audio mixer. So as this, you, anything you want to have an audio with the on audio, you want to mix to have it your own type of, depend upon your game. If you want to have different kinds of modes within the audio, you can use this audio mixer. Okay. uh, okay, so it's like if you want to have a game with like coming audience noise, mixing the audience noise with the BG, background music and all, you can do everything with this audio mixer. Okay. And next, material. As you know, every object to be rendered, to show its properties, to shape, to define its shape, you need to have a material for the object to render. Matlab, to show its how the surface of the object is, you need to have a material. So this you can create. Lens flare is something related to a property of a light. So you can have its you can have an object and you can add a lens flare to it to give you a little bit of glow kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Okay. Render texture is something which actually the whatever you're seeing through a camera, and if you want to put it in a texture and capture it, you can use it in using a render texture. Now currently you are using whatever you are seeing within this camera. Let me add a button to it, UI, and I will have a button. Okay, this is the button. And if you want to capture this whatever seeing into an image, like a screenshot or something like that of shot of that sort, or continuously stream what you are seeing on the screen, you can use it using this render texture. So light map properties. So light map parameters is something you have all the lights in the game. You can place a light as I showed before. You can add a light using this light, direction light, point light, spotlight, area light, reflection probe light. There are different types of lights we need. So if you want to play with the all the properties of the light or with respect to certain sections of light, you can use this regarding the light map parameters. Custom render structure, same as render structure, but if you want this render texture to be saved per frame, or you want to decode into a certain format, or encode or decode into a certain resolution kind of stuff, you can use this as for the same. Sprite, again, sprite is, these three components are related to sprites. Okay, sprite is, you know, the sprite is any image which is rendered through pixels. Okay, this is a square sprite and I just want this square sprite to be render on this. So this square sprite is here. So it gives you a by default, if you want to play with, you want to do within basic primitives of sprite, you have the options of basic primitive, square, triangle, diamond, hexagon, circle and polygon. You can create this basic defaults for even to practice or to just do some tutorial stuff. And Sprite's Atlas is mapping all these individual sprites. You have multiple sprites within the game. Imagine if you have a sprite of a character, sprite of a background, sprite of cloud environment background, including cloud, bricks, grass and all. If you have multiple sprite, you can pack everything into a single sprite and you can render it, which eventually gives a performance boost. So for that you will use this Atlas sprite. This is a sprite shape profile, which is again used for profiling purposes, which will give you for optimizing. You can check how much is the loading perspective and all. You can, it's for basic boosting your performance stuff. This is, these three are related to, this section is related to animation. So if you want to create an base animation for anything, if you want to animate this, imagine this image you have, you want to animate this. So right click, you can create an animation for that. So new animation, you can just like it, bones. You can create a bones kind of, and you can have this animation. Okay, animation. So animation, and in this animation you can actually do the animation of that particular thing. Like now I have clicked this animation bones wala, and you can see the bones as it's this one. It's a you can see the bones animation here. Oh, yeah. Bones. So to add its properties, you can select this. Okay, select this. ये करना पड़ेगा ना. Animator. I will explain this animator and all. Okay, now if you go to the animation window, you can see you can have its properties. If you want to move this, you give a movement animation, you can go to the transform position. If you want to move it in X position, put it in here. The starting position will be 0 0 0, and by the end frames you want to move it in a certain distance 5 units, then you can place it in a certain duration of 5 units. Then you can see within the game, like where is this one. Okay, 0 0 0. See, it's animating. So with this animation you can create an animation. This is again you see, will see in this animation one. If you have multiple animation for this, it's like if you have an animation for going up, now you have an animation for going left and right. To handle all these different kind of animation, we have an animator controller. This is an animator controller. Okay, so each animation can be defined as a state. This animation as a state, again you can have it another animation state, and this state will be like move from left to right, move left. You can have this create, and you can create an animation clip for this and assign here. So from bouncing, you can move left. So different animation states can be handled through a controller. Okay, and then so if a controller has its two properties, means if example you have an imagine you have a character of a male and you have a character of a female. Okay, in your game or in your application. So in this what happens, you want the male character movement is something else, and female, how a female moves is something different, but the state is both will be same. Both will be like we will, the same state will be same like walk, but the animation here applying will be different. Here it will be, for instance you can say here will be male animation motion will be male character movement, and for the female it should come as a female character movement. In this case we will use a override controller. Then we can define, if it's a male, choose the male animation, and if it's a female, choose the female animation. But while programming we will trigger the state walk. So if you want to create override the same animation with other based upon your object or property, you can use a override controller. Okay, then avatar mask is something which you actually on an animation perspective, if you want to mask the animations of a character, you want to apply it on another character. You have two objects and you want to uh, uh, apply the animation of a character into another one, and also mask some of its properties. Let me show this. Okay, this is a humanoid character. Okay, so this avatar mask is like you can apply in any character with imagine in your game a few characters doesn't they don't need to move their hands. Only these animations parts will be animated, but they shouldn't move hands. So you will apply this mask and you can give the restriction to the respective uh, parts of the body, and you can apply these on any character which you want to be act in that perspective way. Okay, and that is avatar mask. And this is timeline, the one I was talking about like before. If you have a timeline and uh, okay, and you have a timeline, and if you want to do multiple activities at same point of time, if I want in this to move my camera, and in this in animation I want to make my character jump, and at the same time I just want my background to be updated automatically or something like that, a play effect in my background. So if you want to trigger everything in the same point of time, you can use an animation track. Hmm. and and signal is something which is used for um, communication between different asset. Okay, so it's a newly added feature, and we haven't used it that much. This is physical material. If your object is a type of, imagine your application is having a ball, and you want to apply a bouncy property to it. So you will have a new physical property of the object, and you can create the bounciness. If its bounciness is 0, then it can bounce a lot, and 0.5 it will take less bounce. Or if the character is a hard heavy and it should not move in any respective way, then you can increase the friction. The friction should be high maximum. So any object you create, if you want to have its physical properties assigned, you can do it using this. Okay, and if the object is 2D, then when you use a physics material 2D. Okay, UI elements, if you want to import in UI element using an UXML template, you can use this. Generally, since we have a nice structure for designing UI elements, we generally don't use this until unless you are using for a web based applications. We will use this, or else we will use basic Unity UI tools to get this. This is legacy which is already deprecated in Unity engine, or which are is soon to be deprecated. You will see all those elements within legacy. means they are about to remove this property. Brush and terrain layer, this is something which you define for a terrain. Okay, now you want to build a game based on a road type or a hilly terrain. For this you need to have its properties, so you define a terrain, and this terrain can be placed within the, mean you can define the properties of a terrain using this. And what we say, कैसे करूं? Terrain layer. Okay, okay, let me have a brush first. So I have this brush. This brush will have texture. What is the type of the texture of your terrain will be? Whether it be sandy, rocky, what kind of thing you will have kind of this brush, and based on that you can on this terrain layer you can add your brush type and also make its property settings. How smoothness will be, the texture will be, tiling sizes, offside, all these properties you can set, and you can as means import your terrain. Okay, so these are all the stuff you can use within you in the project. Now in hierarchy, as in said, while it's in raw, this all the project the properties you see here is a raw properties. But when you are in a game, it will be having its own properties. Like if in this case you can create a cube, sphere, these are 3D objects. You can basically you can create all the 3D like terrain. For example, we were talking about the terrain, right? Create terrain. Okay, I can just save my terrain and okay. Okay, I have my terrain playable non-physic material terrain properties. Okay, root selector, right? So create neighbor terrain, paint terrain. Okay, I guess I need to import my brush size. So the brush you have created, you will be mapping here, or you can create a new brush or brush. What is my name? Brush only, right? B or you already place a brush. Check my terrain. भैया. Okay, let me have my terrain here. I have my terrain and I will take these properties, paint, so I can brush this. Now my terrain is let me go on to the other side to give you a view. So you can see my
Zoom and
terrain
all.
is popped up and raised. My terrain is raised here.
How to zoom and all?
So okay, to control this stuff, it will be okay. I don't know how to. Okay, WSD as you play in a game, WSD movement of anything in your uh, if you want to move your camera in a scene view, then what you can do, right click, and then you can use WASD to navigate around your scene.
WASD.
WAA, yeah, as you play in a game, right? In a PC game, WSD movement of a player. The same thing you will apply here, but you should be clicking right click. Then only it will move. Or else QW or QWER. Generally, whatever you click object, it will give its properties. So W is is give its position properties. It will change its position. Let me go to the 2D side, then you can see exactly. Let me place a cube then. Cube. If you want to show, if you have created a cube and you want to focus in on it, press the click on the object, press F. then it will go to the object directly. Okay, it will zoom it to there. Then when based on the object, if we click W, press on W, it will show its position properties. If you press E button, then it will show rotational properties. If you click on R, it will show its scaling properties. Okay, these are shortcuts. You can also do this from here also. If you click, if you want to position, you can change the position from here. Rotation, you can do here, and also you can scale if you want to do here. You can do from this also. And also you can do from the top notch your tools, right? You see this is a move tool, and you can move it. If you want to use it as a, again, transform tool, you can use this. If you want to rotate tool, you can click and move this. If you want to scale tool, you can do, oh sorry, scale to the all these properties. Okay, scale, where is it? Okay, somewhere. Yeah, scale tool. This is scale tool. Generally we use QWER, so that will be easier. And if you want to change its location, pivot location, you can change here. Okay, so what was I think? Okay, in a hierarchy, you have to, if you want to create anything, you can have these properties. In 3D object, if you want to create a 3D object, you can use all this. Similarly, 2D object, sprite, textural, tile map, everything. Effects, what kind of effects? If you want to have a particle effect, trail effect, line effect, you can have this. As I said, lights, what type of light you want, you can create using this. Audio, video, similarly video. UI, whether what kind of UI you are looking at, you want a button, you want a text image, you want a scroll bar, you want to drop down, all these features. If you want another extra camera or you want to create a base camera, you can click it here. Okay, so these are all properties you can create within the Unity. This is in hierarchy, and this was these properties from the create button you will have within for the project. Okay, now below this stuff is for importing and exporting. If you want to import anything, you can use, and if you have a raw asset, you can use import using a new asset. Or if you have a Unity package that is understandable by Unity, you can use this import package. Or if you want your uh, data to be used by, if your project, the data in your project used to be used in some other Unity project, then you can export it. You can export your data, what is regarding, I want to export my physics material to the other guy, so I can export, I can make and create export and export it as a package. And when the guy double clicks it or drag and drop into your Unity, into his respective Unity folder, Unity project, it will unrar and position itself as in your project structure with all its properties retained. Okay, and then next, this is refresh, is something, it's refresh all your windows, positions it in respective places, or the way you want to. And re-import is re-importing that particular asset. Like while importing, if it's failed or broken in the middle, you can re-import it. Re-imports all your assets. So open C sharp project. So it will open and sync the C sharp, or re-update the solution explorer. Delete the current explorer and create a new solution explorer for you. Okay. And now, so for anything you want to visualize, right? Each have now, we have different components in Unity. Okay, these are all these things, raw assets. Mean in raw assets, either you play with an image type, or a object which is a 3D model, or a audio file, or a text file which may be a script, these kind of stuff. Okay, Now for each one to visualize, you have its respective window. Like for animation to visualize, what all these properties you can see using its here, the window tab. Okay. If you want to visualize an animation, you can go to the window and animation. So click on animation, you will click the animation window. So when you click any object animation within window, like I will click where this animation we have created, um, animation clip. Okay, let me click anime humanoid one. Then see this animation window has the this one. Okay, this is only read only. Let me go to the bonds which we have created. Animation, it can see, you can see the data of it. So respect to what is the type you want, if you want to visualize that, you want to see its uh, what is the data or content inside it, you can use the respective uh, window. Like if you have windows 2D sprite editor, if you want to have a sprite type, you can use a sprite editor. And general windows kind of thing, you will have a scene, game, inspector, hierarchy, project, console, which we already have those windows. And for rendering type, for lightning settings, for all the game you have a direction light. Okay, this direction light, the lighting and direction light. And if you want to change the direction light and its properties here, you want to change this color, you can see within this window. Okay. And this animation we have done. Audio, for anything, the audio mixer, if you want to do some audio mixers in the game, that related window. So pop up all these windows, you want to do any functionality based on that, you want to any kind of window, you will be getting from this window. Now, okay, okay, I guess there is a lot more. Now we have a other component called component section. This we will have discussion tomorrow because it's already 9 now.
Can we see that whether installed or not?
Sorry, it's installed or not, but eventually when they get to know them, it will be there. Yes, project. Okay, now go to the projects. The Unity is installed, done. Go
Okay.
to the projects. Now you can create a new project by create from here, new. Okay. Okay.
New.
Or if you want to add an existing project, you can use an add. Okay, now since we don't have an existing project, we'll go for new. Okay, new. Oh, okay. So here, if you want to make it 2D game, 2D, 3D projects. Now, if you want to have already some basic default properties, like the Unity uh, basic elements, like
Mm-hmm.
standard assets, it will provide also your standard assets. So if you want that, you can create this 3D with extra. If
Mm-hmm.
you create a 3D project, it will create an empty project. But if
Okay.
you create with 3D with extra, it will give you a demo scene also to get to know things.
Okay.
Okay. And high HDRP is high definition render pipeline. This is something you want to make a realistic kind of application.
Okay.
But generally, a realistic kind of application will take lot of processing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's generally recommendable when you have only high end of system, and also recommendable when you are deploying to a platform which is also a high end platform. Like you are targeting a console, or you are making a to a high end configured system.
Okay.
And the last one, and can you scroll down below, is universal render pipeline. SQL. It's universal render pipeline. This is you can use for your common project to highlight, to make it more uh, naturalistic touch. This is more into realistic perspective. Like we move see in a HD video, HD UHD video kind of stuff. And these are something like it will give you a basic default template. These are the rest are the default templates you can download. If you are making a 2D platformer game, you can download those template, and if we are doing an AR template, you can download this AR template and you can do. So
Okay.
if you do this, it will do all the things automatically for you. It will create an AR platform for you. But if you want to know things, we will do everything from the scratch. Either is it okay for me. It's on you
Okay.
how what you choose.
I'll, I'll, I'll I have to click first one.
Go for the second one or the third one. Okay. Give your name to the project. Name to the project. Any name, like test project or your start project or demo project, and you create it.
I think it's created with new project.
Okay. Okay. Done is done. Then that's it. The project is started, and I will tell more thing about Unity tomorrow. Eventually,
Where it went?
it will open. It will take time for to launch the engine.
Okay.
नहीं उसको भी नहीं आता.
So every time, sorry, every time when we are creating this one, we have to new project and we have to define which one 2D, 3D or
If you
VR.
are creating a new project,
Okay. The starting it will take for every project it will take this much of time. Hello. Anesh, are you there? Able to see?
yes, exactly same. If you are comfortable with this layout, you can do this, or you can change the layout on the top right. You can see there is a layout. Okay, on the base of it, you can change top right, right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Layout. You can change. You can have your desired, or you can check all the options. Whichever is feasible, you can have that layout. Okay.
This layout means like it will.
Change the layout of all the tabs and windows.
Okay, 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 okay. Default is better.
Okay. So rest of the things about the Unity, and I will just explain tomorrow.
Yes, got it. Now this is what Unity, right? What you done today. I can just go and have a look.
Yeah, you can have a look around it today.
Oh, okay.
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 Cool.
Thank you, Nash.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Night.